The cyberspace is home to billions of people and is the right platform you need to grow your business. The Center for Innovation and Technology is offering you a golden opportunity to speak directly to your market at an affordable price. We also offer media training workshops, live streaming, documentary production, and events management. Get in touch with us today on the following numbers: +263 867 711 0290 or 0718 100 235. Don't forget to subscribe to our social media platforms. Like our Facebook page, Center for Innovation and Technology. Follow us on Twitter @SiteZW. And you can also check out our website, www.site.org.zw. You can also visit our offices at 45 Moffat Avenue, Hillside, Bulawayo. Take advantage of this opportunity to expand your business.
Dumilani Makamu, Zinalangu Ndizenzele Ndebele. It's a good morning to you all and welcome to Asake Online. Today in our program we'll be doing things a bit differently. So you will hear more of Kalanga and probably a bit of English and just a bit. So it's just one of those programs where we are celebrating our diversity and speaking different languages, because Zimbabwe has 16 official languages and half the time we just spend most of our time speaking in Shona, in Ndebele or in English. So it's one of those programs where today we have decided to be a bit different and communicate mostly in Kalanga. So my guest today in the program is the ZANU-PF MP for Bulilima West, Tingmuzi Puti. Dumilani Honorable.
Dumilani Tate Ndebele.
Munjani.
Aya titongo ngurika tate munjani.
Aya. Domoka Puti kutima wana lubaga wuti mutongo juaneshi. Briefly, just tell me how it has been the road to be an MP. Maakuta machin.
Okay, first of all, let me highlight that I was called by what I felt like was the need of inclusion of young people in the political race for purposes of effective delivery. Yeah, so I joined the race with a lot of things that I had seen happening or not happening from previous administrations. So I thought that I should come in and contribute a change development-wise to my country.
Yeah, so you basically represent one of those areas. I mean, the campaign, how was it?
Okay, my promise is taka vilapa zvinhu zvakati wantolo vele zvilebwa kuti kwaka kwakajali hangu ichigigo kwaka kwakajali kwakakunda mabhasa nevomatamba nadzo zvitori izvo zvatakatiwa izvo ndio zvakangotipake kuti tiko compiler ndebo dzatingauyisisa kuvanhu kuti vanokuyemula kungapani ikoko. But also we took a lot from people's contributions, what they really want or would yearn for. So we put that together and made that those as our electoral promises. And what we've been doing now has been to follow on each and every electoral promise that we made during the political campaigns.
So far, what are some of the projects that you've done?
We have identified key economic drivers of the constituency. In particular, let me mention a dam called Maitengwe Dam. It is named by people Kanyikweno as Mabongane Dam. That dam is said to be the largest earth-made dam in Africa, followed by one in Egypt. So that's an investment that was constructed around the 60s, where River Tekwane was blocked and some ways created so that there is diversion of water into that reservoir, which is about 11 kilometers long in terms of the dam wall.
So Putandobo, you are saying this dam
is
about 11 kilometers long. So that's a huge dam.
It's a huge dam. It tells you that it was a big dam. A permanent reservoir. So But our recent visit there with some engineers from Zinwa was a sorry one. We found kuti ng'ombe dzake dzifula zvadzo mudamu lero lave gula. When we went to look at the dam wall, takaona kwave mavhinganyana oga longa line pfopfonyoka tikalinga tikaona kuna ma serious breaches vula yakalova ibhuda ina. So we are therefore saying now, let us have that dam rehabilitated so that we go back to ecotourism activities. When you look west side of the dam wall, kuna pakepe lima wheat on irrigation. Nema canal akenda about 20 or so kilometers. We want those things back so that we separate. There shall not be any conflict. Right. Another program, Taka Linga Kutibulilima, does not have a rural district council. We have since engaged the Minister of Health, and we are at advanced stages. Kutogwe Lady Barring, which is Ndolwane Hospital, could be converted into a rural district council, because we cannot wait. Kuti a groundbreaking ceremony. Kuti Bazapasi, kuiko vacuum in district hospital. While we have facilities that were constructed in 1938 and have all the things that a health facility of that magnitude would require. Kuna abolition systems, modern maternity wings, mother shelters, ward akasiana, kitchens, 4 boreholes, very reliable water supply. These are just a few of them, but obviously kuna limo damu loitemateme, a dam that is said to be a little smaller than Tokwe Mkosi. But if Tokwe Mkosi is the biggest inland water body in the country, and I'm telling you about a dam, Ndili Lizanisa, Tokwe Mkosi tells you it's a big dam. Mabongane Dam gets into that proposed dam site 5 times. So Kovaguti, the Minister of Agriculture sent engineers to be able to look at this so that it be activated kungine budget ya 2020. We are pushing the Extozama, and let me tell you this, we are receiving a lot of cooperation. They really want to see development.
Yeah, no, the observer when initially we had this large district Bulilima Mangwe, then it was separated to Bulilima and Mangwe. But did we also separate and build the infrastructure that cater for the 2 districts?
Thank you. That's a very good question. I remember going to Harare to engage the permanent secretary where District Development Fund, one Mr. Jonga. Please, for effective delivery, because we have got about 5 or 6 around the ministries and departments. A delimitation exercise muti Mangwe yoga. Let Mangwe have my departments akakwana ahulumende. Bulilima yoga. That should follow suit. So we are seized with that now. I think we've complained enough and we've been understood. They have since started working on it. By the way, we are not the only ones, including Gokwe, my districts Gokwe, Babecha share, because Pakapalalanyiwa my districts Chatama, what it goes with. So it stores development to have a district being a district in terms of mapping, but not in terms of personnel.
No, one of the things again that no one is the state of the roads. What can be done, or what are some of the efforts that you're doing to try and rehabilitate these roads?
Thank you so much. I'm happy to say, in my engagement with TTF at national level, it was an instruction that happened in my presence, my office, 19th floor, Mkwati building. Kui ngakuchitogwa ma trekita wose ADDF ayapo ku province ande ku Bulilima West enotama mihingo nakababuza kuti matama migwako ndiye ngwakono ifakanyawo unobva kuntoli undakamakhulela ubuya kaNdolwane ndikati mabridge akawa vakati vanokuziva neproblem yakalika mabridge vanoiziva. So I was happy, very happy actually, on my way to Mabongane 2-3 days ago. I left Madlambudzi, Ditola Mgokono Ndakambimba Juchume, and I came ndakahangana ne truck itacha DDF begreda, stopped them, went to ask how guys matama ato grade up. Okay, kwakatikala na ngati I type instruction ku province by engineer Macheke wakeli papa blah 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 that zvazviyana zvinhu ndakaluka zvotikala. So I'm happy to say that akale mugwako unobva kamasendu undakagonde mugwako yakwakunda bhasi dhokotela chamidzimu ntolo but if you go there kwamela miti inopinda stand cheka tripod kwave nemiti isimiho. But we have since engaged DDF ndikabuzva ndikati umuntu tangalinga ilo ufuna matipa lo mdala. So ndiyati okay vanako mu budget with matipa abeyolungisa mugwako. So that's happening. But the other two roads, Dombodema, Plumtree Dombodema Maitengwe, and the Plumtree Ndolwane, these are state roads. They've been allocated some money. Dombodema road 5 million for tar. Then the other road, Ndolwane, not were re-graveling. The same as was done here in 1993. This was gravel here kuti ngwakovepe hugube bundo ngeno ujite vula inde iti hailinto. Some things are coming.
Now, I realize that sometimes when we talk about MPs, and the roles of MPs, there seems to be a discrepancy or maybe a difference in the terms of MPs, the Mutaon and MPs Bakany. I find that my MPs are Mutaon, they're more worried about legislation, making rules and what. But how Bakany, would you see at this Nama clinic, would you see at this Namikoti? Do you think we care about legislation?
Thank you very much for that observation, Tatendebele. Most about the people who know what landilinga sibilutu. Okay. Kochidzano ndinde ku parliament ndinobukula ndilevane kuti chapter yakati chinchani iti. Vanhu chinja vana vakakwazo kwazvo infrastructure nekuchilo kwakalulwana. If you make roads for people, you provide them with water, communication, ma booster phone, akale uwandisa vanhu network, transmission radio kuti vaone news dzemuhango yapo. Those are the basics that I think people want. Awasama gates vanhu vanozvikwevela vakange kuti vana vusimbe. Vanozvikwevela velembedza mudzimba velaita vone zvinyala. They have saved the forests. And ndiko kukula kwevanhu mu 21st century going forward. Apatinga galata kazviyana tileveleka nekwe change this law. Laws will not make roads. Laws will not drill boreholes. Laws will not install cell phone boosters. Takafanira kuti titi do these things nema stages. Titi for now, where are we as a country compared to other countries? Okay, takasadila hule kwakati. Let us capitalize on doing exactly that. Infrastructure development, jikwele, health facilities, medication iwanikali. Wokokomilayo woku it's secondary. We should care about that later tabegele tabe a particular country in a particular world. I think we observe change chakanaka kuti ma MPs ematoropo they've little to do. Because first of all, you look at settlement pattern. The second thing, you look at needs. Their need will not be good. You want a borehole. Because their need will not be with the Takama gates because Agalaya. So when they create them, they create jobs for themselves. I believe that they put a lot of our emphasis and focus on infrastructure development. My legislation, there are things fine, but they're not pertinent to me.
Yeah, then let's look at the Batane language. you know, I mean, we have 16 official languages. But Tilibakalanga, half the time, if you go in a public platform, you now need to change and speak in the Vele. Parliament, what can be done to make sure that these languages are actually recognized and didn't teach DA?
Absolutely. Into any other language for purposes of survival. That's a piece of sublime mysticism and nuisance. I have taken it upon myself. Parliament, I stand and speak in Kalang. And when I was asked, why do you want to speak in Kalang? That you people, this is my language. And that elected me, what this language, because you are infringing upon their rights. So no, the problem is that parliament now I challenge you to employ an interpreter in Kalanga, you Hansard people, or else you will stand to record nothing. And indeed, they recorded nothing. On the 5th of February, I made a presentation. Then they could not capture it. They just wrote, Honorable Puti colon. I quote, the honorable member spoke in Kalang. Then last week, I was very vociferous against that. I am happy that Parliament, being an august house, a sacred institution that it is, competent as it is, they issued an apology that was by the Deputy Speaker. Then there also was, we shared a lot with the Clerk of Parliament and with a lot of support from other MPs for languages like Tonga and Venda. But something pleasing, Ndebele and Shona MPs were very pleased with that move as well. They cheered. It tells you that we are a people that are now at a level of development which accept that we are not just one, but in our diversity, they become our oneness. I cannot be forced to Ndebele Ndebele. I should be made free with Ndebele Kinechikalang. And the Ndebele guy should also want to try to learn as many languages as possible. So should a Shona guy. Ndiko be a nation. True unity, respect my cultures and my languages. So yes, I think we are going somewhere. When we go back to Parliament on the 5th, the Speaker is going to issue a statement about this because the House demanded I'll issue a statement. But I'm not going to stop talking in Kalang. I will not labor myself with English, yet I can speak a language that I'm most competent now. We can speak English, but we are trying to communicate to who or to please who na chochikyu. It's not a level of sophistication. I can prove sophistication with my good Kalang, and this is the path that I've decided to follow, and it's smooth. It's going well. Yeah.
Yeah, so one of the things that is linked to the language and the cultural diversity on level and during colonialism Wakalanga lost a lot of chieftainships, and 38 after independence we still have not restored some of these chiefs that actually were demoted by the colonial regime. What are we doing about that?
Thank you, David. I've engaged the Minister of Local Government and the Department on Chiefs, and we have started communications, and there has been a call now from the disposed families of chiefs to bring submissions that will lead into a process of research and possible reinstallation. But there is an act of Parliament that still needs amendment. It should come to the House of Assembly, and it should follow the right processes, which allows for a resuscitation of chieftainships, because currently the law isn't very clear, there are still some consultations with the Attorney General's office, from what I gathered. That should make that piece of legislation, that bill, be complete, so that it allows processing. Yes, that is on course. Without a chief, you are not a people. More African setup here, Chila, because chief to depict your culture, your language, your aspirations, and then the custodian we milenje yenyu nemipanga yenyu. So apamusi chinahe kubva kuti mabe magwaya asina nglisi kokaiko makuwa akauya echinyavo ena bukopokopo kwawo. The colonial settler regime has its intelligence, belief, or conclusion that led them into thinking that Kalanga people were not safe for them as rulers. Because I've got a writing from the archives. You know, like they were rating he's loyal to the government, or he's popular with these people, but he is difficult at times. What? Yes, we are, nanas. But 38 years down the line, things should change. But things don't change on their own level. It takes one of us or all of us to follow an idea, to push it towards it. We are going with this. When I speak about Chikalanga in Parliament, it should be amplified by the owners of the language. Because I'm one person, a child who was sent by his parents. So when I make a report or a statement, it means that yes, that's what we want. We are the ones who told him to say that. So the same applies with chiefs. It has started now. Our people, various groups, should stand up now and support this idea. I'm happy though what is happening. There's quite a lot of support that we're getting from our people. From wherever in the world, no participator for that.
Yeah, so at Linga Kalanga, how many people in chieftainships that are losing
my chieftainships were at various stages. If you check, history tells us that the first white man to come here was Moffat. We had to set up his church at Inyati. But that was not a colonization, a blatant colonization project. It was an intelligence project of gathering information and studying how these people live and studying pastors and use religion to pacify people. The real colonization came in 1890 when these people already knew what they were coming here to find, because intelligence reports had been sent already by David Livingstone and Moffat, and some masquerading as missionaries. But between 1890 to 1897, we lost chiefs. And those chiefs now are no longer very traceable in terms of even archival works. It is known by oral legend. But there are chiefs that were demoted between that 1897 and the 1960s. You know, Chief Hikwa. So if it was Chief Hikwa, what happened to him, to Chief Hikwa this day? I've got actually, I should have brought that. Dina writings, we not Chinkababili, his chieftainship name was Lushina. Chinkababili, Makua Banon described Baguti, Unwakakatina, Katin. Bachilina Nalo Sundina picture, even Mufoni. Lia Poka Chinkababili Bachilil. So, chieftainship is Zakachindai. I was invited by Chief Chankuluba at Puti, Awatanga, Aita home, and Dokumbila Puti. Undi involved in the Tongu Tonekela, yes, there are chiefs who want other chiefdoms resuscitated. And if we have their buy-in, that is the best way to go. Who are the Ndlovu clan? Do you honestly believe with Ndlovu being the totem that it is. Ndlovu sibili abo chibundule inyika ya chibundule khige babkhiga iwe vuna makuni wakabkhiga honge nema maila ho vanobaka maila ho mukaizebe uru vanobaka ngemabwe. If you say vanobaka ngemabwe, we associate as volushingo these ruins with those people. So how dare kuti kungochi havana chieftainship okashime zvinu.
Yeah, but because these are some of the largest vanhu vatinavo mubukalanga but vanohlompiwa futi.
Yeah.
And you know kuti vanhu vakandlovu vanhu bevahla but hakuna chieftainship yavanhu.
Hakuna chieftainship yakandlovu. Hakuna chieftainship yakamoyo. Kokatoziva kuti vomanguva havaendi vomoyo. Womene kubutswana ndivo moyo baba. So chieftainship dziyapo papa but issue kuti you know.
But go ulilima kwa mangwe, ulilima kwa memwe. Meaning at one point he was such a...
I'm told he was a paramount chief actually at some point. Loba sibili shuka kuna volupane kweno. Vokheba kona veli pasi kukwe koga kulikekwe. Kana dzedzi mitundu nonga volupane nabo kai. Usongo chana muntu wayo shuka wana mazina echikalanga.
Yeah.
Udimpamiwa.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right to the Mahlangombe. Kwakuli gwegwe Bukalanga was a vast nation yakipashula across. So there we are. Unbe kugwanda kona unobona mazina echikalanga hele matombo akweno nedzinjisi dzakona. Akuijaunda nditi kova dlaunda no wawane chita papa usina chauka samubula. So ndiko kokuzenzele kwati
ndakanda kugwanda kwakwe kumadangombe ndakabuzwa
kuna vukumbudzi
kumadangombe kumalinda kwa kunidombola malinda or something like that. So some of those are some of the history that we have lost over the years.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So what are the challenges when you come as a young person in parliament that is very diverse and bringing up some of these issues?
Challenges come from you know, if you have an educated nation that does not align the education to their culture and their background, that's the first wrong. If you do something like this, push these agendas, and you get some elite people in society, you see, it demoralizes. I believe that our elite people or the educated group should be educated but with a bearing towards their identity. The moment identity is detached from so-called knowledge, there is no knowledge about it. So I think there has to be a buy-in from the elite people in terms of academics. Kuti vevuyevo ne support yavo kuti la kuti kuwakala. I'm just saying something, but there should be some people who amplify this with research. Research civili, you know, lower dissertation on these things civili. Gina on to Google, you wanna civili even world class lokuzen, you know, support this because human development, you know, hinga through providing evidence. Kuti echincha takatileva chekuti chakalebwa na Zenzele Ndebele in 2019 kuna research yakatiwa na Memory Marimajira on this and this and this day, you know, prove a good. So challenge kuti the academic world has not come in to support these things, yet it is known that these things are a fact.
Yeah, so one of the
I'm challenging you as well, Ndebele, as a very sharp academic and a very active person in our country. Kutimu, amongst your projects, take this up, amplify this voice that has started wailing. Kuwakale sivile kuti tiludzi kunochila tina agenda yakalingisana ne progress. It's not an agenda yakalingisana ne divisionism. It's not an agenda yakalingisana ne separatism. It's not an agenda yakalingisana ne tribalism. There's nothing tribalism about claiming your identity. Actually, there is everything tribalism about thwarting that.
Yeah, that is very true. And then I was going to say, you know, the area that you represent is a lot of Bakugoli. But these people have gone there and seen, and they have a lot of resources, and they're actually starting their projects, building clinics, building schools. What can be done? What are you doing to bring what we can call, maybe what the government calls diaspora remittance, to organize these people so that they can actually push the development of their areas?
Thank you very much, sir. You know, this is a very good point. Actually, this festive season, I learned a lot. The commitment that is there from our people of diaspora is enormous. It's oceanic. I was so humbled. I attended some meetings. Ababeji kubaji kubunganya, kuna imwe ibatisana ubudilila, yakachekanga, kuna ino ibana bengwana Development Foundation, kuna dzimwe bodzi hapo, kuna bojuchume, kuna botokwana. Those people bakabe wana ma projects etiwa so. Okuyu vana vedu vakugoli vadusa maringa apa kuti titenge masamende tivake chakati. Vana vedu vakugoli nevaku UK. But those people are always in touch and more concerned about our development issues than we seem to be in Shipa. You find a video yemapanyana kweno gujujume, yeah, sent on social media, be it Facebook or what, by Ngatiti, for example, a brother of mine, no differ bango. Unokusendela ma videos that of places that you have not accessed. You only papo. It tells about commitment. So I'm still consulting various stakeholders for advice. How do we harness those resources? How do we harness the punch? Did channel it towards a direction? Because if you don't consult, you can do an underdone project. So right now, teacher consultant. My constituency development team will be made up of people representing various groupings, churches, traditional leadership, business, and we see kutitingata machine, for example, so that we end up having a rank ya malaicha kama lambuds targeting vanhu vanakachuluka nebhodha yemaitengwe vamwe venda as far as vogambu navocholocho. And that should kwafanira kweva development that set up infrastructural development here. We now then go to central government. You know, chitisilani bridge no chuluka tekwani liva kambimba geno kamafa. Chitisilani bridge no linka lower bulilima to lower cholocho. Usually, my projects are over from that engagement. Yeah, harness our diaspora attitude, which is so sweet as things stand now.
Tate puti to boka kwazo kuti muwane lubaka ngo manogara very busy man wenda kuzimfa vendila vanhu ve campaign futhi ngoba campaign akutopela ukati. I mean, one question this underpeza, how is the challenge ukuthi no galela ku parliament ngeno at the same time you're supposed to get in touch in a constituency? How do you do that?
That's a good question. I take advantage of age. I'm still very flexible. I don't hesitate waking up anytime to do anything. I also take advantage of my history. I worked and stayed in Harare for many years, so there's nothing new for me in Harare. I know that I've gone there for parliament business, and when I finish on Thursday evening, I drive back to Bulawayo and to Plant. Friday, I'll be having my meetings. Saturday, I'll be having my meetings. Sunday, I'll be having my meetings. Later on Sunday or early Monday, I then drive to Harare. So I find it's not an issue to me. Another thing is I have a way of working which includes a team of people. We have a guy who looks at communication and PR, somebody who can type a letter and send it without my presence. I don't need to edit because I know his competencies. We have a guy who is in charge of our logistics, and each time, be it our cars that we use, Tobetis Vagutin Lumo, Dio, I think I trust her name more, and Dio, I think I trust her with this. He works closer with me than any member of the team. We've got people who are in charge of social media. Social media is an integral tool in modern day operation on anything, be it business or anything. So tinako koko some Huko Chitike, we also have a lady who is looking at women and youth. They are a constituency that you don't have to forget about. So, apakura jalo mdendi zbauti have a team, right now I'm going for parliament business, for a workshop in Inyanga. I think these guys are going to remain Benda ku Bambads for a project here, promoter usage and availability of sanitary pads amongst primary school children, so that the girl child should not be totally blank of the natural stage of development in menstruation. Ngabazibe. And abaziba, they should know well, this thing is there for use. Ngakugalenema headmaster. That project is being sponsored by Mrs. Evelyn Lovu, the Minister of State in the Vice President Chiwenga's office. As a legislator there, I therefore have to keep my visibility. But now that I'm not there, then a team should represent Honorable Puti. Because Honorable Puti is not an individual. It is the constituents. If you say Bulilima West, Ndochebu, you see, that is how we have designed our.
I don't Honorable Puti. Tibigira pagka. Kita watu logo timu boja, timu dana guti apa wanda chini, oku wanda chini. Go 5 years each year.
Yeah, each year.
Watu logo hinga, and we hope guti after 5 years to watu logo level and go the way I'm not hinga gati ban bana basola no.
Kwazo.
We have kuli buloi mabaka buloi.
Buloi komande. Ai namondovoka kwazo guti mandikoka panangae.
Yes, that was Honorable Puti, a young man who talks a lot, but he's also very energetic, and he's saying, one of the things that I like about him is that he's very practical, because we have seen that most of the times people, especially in the rural areas, they want development, they want roads, they want clinics, they want their lives to improve, and we need young people who can actually make sure that we deliver on the promises, because some of our people are yet to taste the fruits of independence. They still complain about some of these things, and we might blame the government in most of the times, but we can also look at our leadership and say, what kind of leaders do we have? Do they take our issues to central government and make sure that resources are allocated for those problems that we have in our community? So we hope that Puti in the next 5 years is going to look at these issues and actually deliver development to the people of Fulawa, to the people of Bulilima West. My name is Zanzaren Ndebele. Till we meet again tomorrow, have a good day.